We're going to take a second deck from the start of the roof all the way to the other side, and it'll be all suites upstairs. And what we're going to do across there is we're going to open up center field seating.
Oh, okay.
So we'll still keep the batter's eye, but around it is going to be more seating, and that's where a lot of the additional seats will go there.
South Bend Cubs owner Andrew Berlin showed ABC 57 News his major plans for the city-owned minor league stadium his team calls home, adding an upper deck and expanding seating capacity from about 8,000 right now to 12,000 fans.
Yeah, we're going to go up, and then in left field corner, we're going to move that commissary that's currently there for storage and cold storage. We're going to move that, and we're going to build a 4-story building right there with meeting space, convention space, party space for weddings, whatever family gatherings people have.
Do you think that the demand will be there to fill 12,000 seats at Horwitz Field?
Absolutely. Yeah, we sell out, I'd say about of our 68 home games, we sell out about 45 of them. I think we're going to be able to attract more concerts, more events, more city-sponsored events as well.
And those additions are only being made possible by a new law just signed by Governor Eric Holcomb called Senate Bill 326. Because the city has Four Winds Field and a professional baseball team, it was allowed to create the South Bend Professional Sports and Convention Development Area a couple years ago. And that new law will capture $5 million a year in existing sales and income tax revenues from the stadium itself, major downtown hotels, the Century Center, and IU South Bend for 20 years, totaling $100 million.
It sounds like a home run, to use a baseball pun, but it's really a win-win, isn't it?
It is a win-win, and even for the most cynical person who might be looking at this, you would be hard-pressed to find a bad perspective or a bad aspect to what's happening here. It's a city-owned asset that's getting major investment, no rise in taxes, no increase in taxes, from a state government that is able to do it. I mean, it's fantastic.
The other half of that $100 million over 20 years will go to the city's Department of Venues, Parks, and Arts, much of it being used for a major renovation here at the Century Center downtown.
Century Center is due for an upgrade. It's actually a historically significant building designed by a really renowned, well-known architect, Philip Johnson. To have a building of his in a city like South Bend is really a feather in our cap. We intend to respect the integrity of his design as we add onto it in the future.
South Bend Venues, Parks, and Arts Director Aaron Perry helped reimagine Howard Park downtown, making it a magnet for kids and families. His team's nearly $50 million plan for the Century Center includes a beautiful glassed-in front area for the public, larger convention and gathering spaces, technology upgrades, and more.
And its location right on the river is stunning. I mean, it's beautiful. Will there be some more connection outdoors? Because it's kind of an indoor space mostly, isn't it?
Sure, and there's a lot of brick.
Yeah.
So the idea would be to take advantage of the river even in a more dynamic way than the convention center currently does, and actually probably reconnect Jefferson to the street grid. Right now it's kind of cut off by a large parking lot. That hinders kind of future developments along the west side of the river.
$100 million over 20 years coming to South Bend Venues, Parks, and Arts is huge. It's game-changing, isn't it?
Well, certainly. We throw around the word game-changing quite often in projects, but this is literally and figuratively going to be game-changing for our community.
The competition is fierce for tourism in particular, and for convention business and such.
Built in 1974 and opened to the public in 1977, the Century Center was designed to be the centerpiece of the downtown business district. But 5 decades later, it's no longer a cutting-edge attraction for large-scale conventions and business conferences, according to South Bend Regional Chamber President Jeff Ray.
It's still a terrific facility, but like every facility, needs some investment to continue to be state-of-the-art and attract the business of today.
Because of the tax capture law, Ray thinks the Century Center can once again become the crown jewel of downtown South Bend, attracting more people, companies, and overall economic development.
This is a building that sits empty a lot, for example, and so if our own community can utilize it more, if people from outside can utilize it, you have really the connection to all the amenities downtown. It's connection to the hotels, connection to the restaurants and stuff. Make it a really viable spot.
So imagine downtown South Bend without any of this.
And Andrew Berlin still remembers the time just before he bought the struggling South Bend Silverhawks back in 2011, before he turned them into the Chicago Cubs Class A affiliate, when the team was on the verge of moving out of state.
I thought if we provided an experience that was thoroughly enjoyable and not necessarily dependent upon the score, we might have something.
He freely admits the team is turning a profit at Four Winds Field, and he's been putting some of that money into revitalizing the area surrounding the stadium, creating new upscale apartments and other amenities, including the Ivy at Berlin Place. And he welcomes the new law capturing all those existing tax dollars that would normally go down to Indianapolis and the giant statewide budget. They will now stay here at home to make Four Winds Field even better.
We will be increasing the value of the People's Stadium.
Because this is a taxpayer-owned facility. You don't own it, but you've put, $9 million into the stadium itself, and my understanding is something like $32 million all told when you count all the developments around the stadium. That is a huge investment for a private individual. Why?
I want to win. I want South Bend to win. This is a model for private, public partnership and investment that is actually good is really good for the citizens.
And this investment over the years means the South Bend Cubs stay here in South Bend.
We're staying in South Bend. We're not moving. No way. Not while I'm here.